Welcome back to the Brew Crew Podcast, everyone. This is day 12 of the BCP Advent Calendar. Day 12, that's the halfway mark.
Day 12, we're there.
Halfway. We're there, and this is an interesting beer today. We got a Citra Hazy Pale Ale, not India Pale Ale, Pale Ale.
A hazy Pale Ale, not a hazy
Brewed
IPA.
and canned in Auburn, New York. This is 4-piece by Prison City Brewing.
Yep, 4-piece Citra.
4-piece Citra.
Yep.
All right.
So there's a couple of interesting facts about this, right? First of all, it's a single hop pale ale, which used to be the norm, and you don't see that very often anymore at all. This was and it's all Citra, which also you don't typically see in a pale ale. You see it with an IPA, which is a form of pale ale, I guess, but it's not in a pale ale. So that'll be interesting in and of itself. Yeah. 5.9%. Single hop hazy pale ale. I don't remember experiencing a hazy pale ale before.
Yeah, me neither. But who knows? Maybe I have. Can't remember them all, you know?
It might be great. It might be a turd. We'll see.
All right, let's open it up. 3, 2, 1. We'll see. This kind of smells like an IPA to me. I don't know if I buy those 0 IBUs. That's at least what Untapped says. Maybe that's just a filler for...
No, I don't think they filled it in. You can't have 0 IBU. There's got to be some. I mean, if you put hops in, there's going to be some bitterness. But I think they just didn't fill it in.
Yeah.
Look at that. We both have TV beers. That is pretty hazy. Look at that haziness.
Well, I don't have a TV beer. This is way too much head. But it's all right. I didn't tip the glass. I heard there was an interesting theory running around over the summer that, and I actually think that these, I first bought it, and then I think these guys are full of shit. Like who are first of all, who is anyone on Facebook? Like who's making videos on Facebook? Like, and who is their audience? How does a video get into my feed? I'm not talking about like the zit popping videos, which get into everyone's feeds. I'm talking about like some random fucking guy who drinks beer. Like, obviously, I'd love for our videos to get into their feeds, but like they talk like they're this authority. Like everyone knows who these people are. These people aren't significant. They're randos. So anyway, there's a guy who's just like the actual where you're supposed to have just fill it the fuck up with head. It's supposed to be just totally a terrible pour because the bubbles are supposed to pop. He said, and then because when you drink it, then all of that, those bubbles, if you pour it the right way, they sit in your stomach, and then that's why you burp and stuff. Yeah, but you're also like making the beer completely flat by doing it.
So that's like a good thing.
But this was going around, and like all the comments were like, "Oh my god, it makes so much sense." That's exact. And then people are just pouring their beer like fucking assholes, you know, just like foam everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, don't believe everything you read on the internet. You know, some of these people are absolute morons.
Especially Facebook.
Facebook's by far the worst. I know people are like railing on Twitter, you know, because the guy they don't like owns it. But like, Facebook is a cesspool of absolute worthless trash. Other than posts from the BCP.
Yes.
Like, I don't remember the last time I went on Facebook and actually saw posts from people I like. Let alone, like, I don't know any of the things I'm seeing. Like, if I'm going to read posts from people I don't know, I'll use Twitter. Because at least I'm getting information. But, like, I get random dumb crap. Like, companies mostly. I don't know what happened. Facebook is absolute, just a huge waste of time. I don't know.
I rarely
Who's
go
spending
on
a lot of time on there? I think that the days of like, hey, look at me and what I'm doing today is kind of like over. I think like vacations and pictures of kids and stuff is good. Like there was a time when people would like post like every day like I'm watching baseball and oh, here are my thoughts. Like now I think it's like show grandparents what the kids are doing. But like these videos, I mean, they don't even have community notes or anything on Facebook anymore. I thought they did for a while. And then they just were like, nah, fuck it. We'll just let people lie like crazy on here. Tell people that you should pour your beer like an absolute dickhead.
How do you really feel? Come on, John, open up a little bit, would you?
Oh, I'll open
Stop being so.
Facebook is just it's a frustrating place, you know.
You know what I hate?
And this is where so many Americans are spending all of their time. I'm not political. I'm not getting political. I'm just saying, like, Americans, people that I value, are spending time on this platform that's just a waste of time.
I used to
do something different.
I used to spend a lot more time on it. This was 5 years ago, probably. I used to spend a lot more time on it, and I got into like political stuff with people and everything, which was so stupid.
Oh yeah, don't argue on Facebook.
No, absolutely, because nobody's going to win anybody over. And you know what? You take old friends that you grew up with, and you alienate them, or they alienate you. And what's the point?
What's the point?
The point is to bring people together. So I don't know. I rarely go on Facebook anymore, except to go on Facebook Marketplace.
I don't even do that.
That's probably not saying a whole lot.
I could do that, but
I either go on Jill's list here in Oakwood, or I go on Facebook Marketplace. But
yeah.
I don't go on Facebook very much. The thing that turned me off to it was, and this is probably 3 or 4 years ago. You probably remember, right, when they put their little AI troller on there, and they would hear what you're saying at home, even when you don't have Facebook on.
I mean, they're doing that.
And
they're
then
probably still doing that.
And the next time you open Facebook up, guess what? There's a slew of ads showing you, kitchen utensils or whatever you were talking to your wife about. That drove me nuts. I'm like,
they're not the only ones doing it. I mean, you'd have to really get rid of your phone. This is really like, we could get, Matt will wholeheartedly disagree with what I'm about to say. But this is why you read the terms of service. He won't disagree with that. He would agree with that. There's a certain amount of privacy that you're giving up in your life. And you have to choose which companies you're giving it away to. Otherwise, you have to get rid of your phone. And the thing about most companies are probably lying. But I think that a majority of them are telling you the truth, because if you read the terms of service, they don't hold back. Like, Google tells you everything they're doing. They'll listen to you. They'll take your keystrokes, everything you type into Google. Like, even if you type something into Google and then delete it, that still gets recorded. So, like, you have to give away you have to give up a certain amount of privacy. And the one thing about Apple that does separate it from its peers, which is absolutely undisputable, is that because they own the platform, within the terms of service, and they could be lying, but within the terms of service at least, they don't send the data that it uses to learn about you. So there is learning going on inside the device about you. So it's recording and storing information on the device. They don't send that back to Apple. Whereas all the other companies, like if you own an Android, you probably have a Samsung. Google doesn't own Samsung. They own Android though. They're sending all that shit back to the servers. So you're stored somewhere. So
yep.
And that's fine for many people. I mean, what secrets do you really have? I mean, unless you're just a terrible person. But like we saw with the CEO murder thing, even that guy got away for a while, So anyway, you just have to, it's an acceptable level of risk is what you're doing here. And Facebook is an unreasonable amount.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing I didn't like was they started, the stuff you get in your feed is uncontrollable. You don't get a chance to control that. So I see all kinds of stuff that I would never in a million years look at or want to look at or read people's stuff and all this kind of thing, right? And they started showing, like, people's posting of very disturbing things, like a man lying in the street dead with his head in a giant pool of blood, whether he got hit by a car or somebody.
They showed that on Facebook?
Oh yeah.
That's something I'd expect to see.
This happened
to
Elena. And she was so traumatized by it that she stopped using Facebook for 6 months.
I've seen that kind of stuff on Twitter before.
But it's like, why would you decide to send that to me or to anybody?
I just want to see.
They weren't somebody that
go back to the days when there was just our friends, when you could just see your friends on there, and it was
That's
whatever
right.
they're posting.
That's
I don't get why it just got crazy. It's like they were like, oh, we're going to do a little bit of ads here and there. Now it's like all ads. It's like the whole thing is shit I don't care about, and then nothing about
and then ads.
Your friends. Like, I maybe see like a post from Dr. just because he's like a serial poster. And that's it. Like, I don't see anything from any of the people I actually interact with, like, as friends and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even see my sister's posts. Maybe she doesn't post, but
I don't see any of my sisters either, or my kids.
Yeah, I do see my mom's when she posts. That's about it. My kids would never post on Facebook. They wouldn't be caught dead on that platform.
It's old school, right?
But they'd be on Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. So
yeah, I think exactly.
Anyway.
Well, now that we're halfway through our beer, we've had a chance to taste it.
Yeah.
A bunch. Okay. You want to go first or me?
You go ahead.
All right. My first impression was nothing remarkable here, kind of. I didn't really get much in the nose at all. I thought I was going to. With the Citra hops, you're expecting, the same thing you do with IPAs, right? Which is more floral and fruity, tropical fruits, that sort of thing in the nose, because that's what Citra is known for, is citrus, right? So you're expecting to smell some grapefruit, maybe some lemons, oranges, limes, something like that. And then when you taste it, you should taste that as well. I'm not getting a lot of that. I'm not getting hardly any of it on the nose. And I'm not getting that much of it when I'm tasting it either. So, I do taste some bitterness. IBU of 0. But we already knew that.
Yeah, I think that was just untapped.
Yeah, I think they just
not having the
overlooked
information.
I think so too. But it's, I don't know. To me, it's, it tastes like a pale ale. It looks like a pale ale with haze in it, like chill haze in it. But, it's good, solid, but nothing remarkable. And I mean, there is some citrus on the finish. I get a little, citrusy, acidic, citrusy kind of aftertaste on the back of the tongue and then on the palate. So I am getting a little of that. A little breadiness from the yeast, not that much, and a little bit more bitterness than I'm used to in a regular pale ale that's not a West Coast pale ale. Like in a West Coast pale ale, it's got, like Sierra Nevada, it's just like hop forward and stuff. This is not that, but it's a little bit more bitter in the back end of it than a typical pale ale might be. Other than that, it's interesting to look at. The haze is interesting. I don't think it really contributes much to the flavor or anything. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it, really. It's just pretty average pale ale with a couple of little nuances here and there, but I don't know, not really all that remarkable to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, I would agree it's unremarkable. I would. I'll slightly deviate from what you said and say that it doesn't represent what I would have expected from a pale ale, only in that the only way you approach India is being hop forward, like you're mentioning, even if it's hazy, if it's in New England.
Yep.
So the more hop taste you get, which this has, this actually probably has more hop taste than the West Coast we had. That West Coast was weak in the hop category.
It was. That's
if you remember, the IBUs were they said they were in the 40s or 30s. That they were I think we did that one together, right?
We did.
I literally said this is not a West Coast IPA in that video. Go back and watch it, day whatever, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
This beer has more hop profile than that.
That's one of the reasons I love that one. That San Diego.
Yeah, because it did scale it back.
It surprised me. Yeah, and it was really well balanced.
Yeah,
as a result.
So we've had a string of beers that I've categorically disagreed with the way that beer was marketed, and this is another example of that. This to me is not a pale ale; it's an IPA. It is more. I would say it's more. This is going to be a weird thing to say, but it's more wet. It's waterier. It's got the base is less noticeable than what a normal IPA would have.
Yeah.
Because you would smell the base of the beer. This beer. Yeah, no smell at all. Almost. I mean,
right.
I don't think there is a smell to this beer. It's almost actually unbelievable in a literal sense. I don't believe that. I can't smell anything. If you really poof the can into your, and then you can kind of smell some of the hops, but mostly there's no smell here.
Yeah, it's really remarkably absent, given given all the things they put in it.
It's got a lot of hops. I think that there is like what I would expect is like a more beer flavor, or more malty flavor than an IPA would have in a pale ale. But you don't get that here. But I think there's a hint of it somewhere in that flavor where it's like, oh yeah, that's like, I mean, if it's one hop, you should probably be able to identify it pretty easily. But I think the finish has something on it that's like malty maybe.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. But it's more bitter than I expected.
Yeah.
More hoppy than I expected. But it does, like the baseline beer that hits the palate is pretty watery, pretty wet. Just like, and that's it. The flavor is just like wet.
Exactly. It's hard to describe because there's some absent from it.
Yeah, and then when you get the breath, it's like, oh, there's the hops.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot missing in this beer. It's weird.
It is kind of weird.
But it's an award-winning beer apparently.
I think one of the when I saw Citra before we even opened it and before we started the podcast, I said to John, "It's Citra." That's like they use that in IPAs for a reason, right? Because it's a stronger hop. It has higher alpha acids in it, and so it's gonna push this thing. And the thing is, if you use a single row barley with a pale ale, typically, right? And I think that's what they used here because I've seen the pictures on it. Mm-hmm. That's not a typical barley that you would, use, and they're obviously using less of it because they're only getting 5.9% out of it, which is good for a pale ale. It's right in the sweet spot, right? But it's not. I wouldn't say it's well balanced. It's more hoppy than it is malty, and the hops kind of cover up the malt. Because of that,
I would say that's true. That covers up the malt.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's I agree. Kind of misses the mark, but it makes you wonder, like, if this beer won an award for the pale ale category.
Oh,
were those people just really into it because it's an IPA?
Yeah.
They were like, "Ooh, I like this. It's different." Yeah, it's different because it's not what you said it was.
As soon as you said that, I thought it did win an award. I saw that it won in 2017. It won a New York State, beer competition award, and it was in the IPA category.
Oh, it was in the IPA category.
It was in the IPA.
I mean, I could see that which was interesting. If you fill out the base of the beer a little bit better, this is this would be a pretty high up IPA. But again, there's a lot lacking. Even if it is an IPA. If this is an IPA, it's lacking. But if you did just a little bit to this, like maybe in 2021, when it won that award.
2017.
Well, it says 21 on the can.
Oh, it doesn't really?
And I heard you say 17 before.
That's what was on their website.
So maybe they used to have a different base. Maybe there was something more going on here.
Interesting, very interesting. Because I think, if you're an IPA drinker, which we know that vast majority of Americans who are drinking craft beer drink IPAs. That's just the way it is. But if you're an IPA drinker and you're used to drinking IPAs, you're used to a body that's more than this.
Yeah. It needs
more malty, more flavor, more caramel flavors in the malt, right? Because this is not caramel malt. That's not caramel malt, that's pale malt. So you're not getting those rich caramel sugars in there and everything that provides so much more body and richness in an IPA than you have in a pale ale. So I think that's what it's missing. If you're judging it for an IPA, like you said, I don't know how you'd score this as a winner in the IPA category because it's lacking a lot of what an IPA would normally have.
It's not a winner, but it's fine. It's not bad. It's definitely drinkable. Yeah. Probably even crushable. If you really wanted to have like an IPA to chug, this might be it. What's your score?
It's so funny because I was just thinking, about what am I going to give this thing for a score? And I was thinking, well, if it were a choice between this and a Budweiser, I'd take this any day.
Yeah.
But it's that kind of a beer.
It is that kind of a beer. This is a Budweiser of. Yeah, I guess that's a good example. It's very approachable base.
Yeah.
And
it's not going to offend a lot of people. It's
I wonder what Frank gave it. I'll have to watch that video. Probably a 1 or a 0.
Well, I I got to give it 2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, it's kind of like a, drinkable. A little low on the end because I don't think it's a fit for either the pale ale category or the IPA category, and I don't think it's that well balanced. But it's drinkable, and it's not. It doesn't totally suck. So
Yeah.
but I would, want. I can't believe I'm saying this. I would want a little less hops, for the style. Or
For the style, for sure.
yeah, or I would want them
reclassify it.
to. I would want them to beef up the malt a little
Yeah.
bit more, so it's a little bit more flavorful.
Beef it up.
And have the sweetness kind of balance that out.
Yeah.
Maybe put a little lactose in there or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Now we're changing the beer altogether.
Yeah, I know. We're changing it into something.
Maybe put some chocolate malts in there and make it a stout,
Make it a stout. That's what you said about the one the other night.
This one, yeah, you got to do something. Or, here's the thought, fruit it up.
That's a
Maybe put some
possibility,
orange
too.
in there. Maybe put some actual citrus juice of some, maybe grapefruit even. Make it a little bit juicy.
Yeah.
That'll haze it up more even, and give you some of that sugar. There's a lot you could do to this beer. This really, this is kind of like the pie crust of IPAs if you think about it.
Yeah.
You could really just
I
do
like
anything with it. You could put anything in
I
it.
like it.
You could even put blood in it.
It's. Here we go.
Congealed
Back to the blood pie.
Congealed blood sausage.
Let's ask Matt. Can you make blood pie out of this, Matt?
You could make blood beer out of it.
Blood beer.
It's a pie crust. That's all this beer is. I don't
Wisconsin.
give it as low of a score as you do, not because I think that I think there's a lot of misclassification. I think there's a lot if this was a test, you'd be getting points knocked off, and your score would be lower and lower. But in the end, it's not a bad beer, so it's a 3.0 for me because it's really forgettable. It's not a drain pour. I definitely won't buy it again because why would I?
Yeah.
Now, if you start making variants of this beer, and I remember, oh man, I had that, and now I see a variant that's like a cranberry IPA or a citrus IPA or grapefruit. Yeah, I might buy those. I'd probably buy them actually.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Because because you're starting from a place, but call it an IPA. Call it what it is.
Yeah, exactly, and then try to balance it a little bit better. I did see on their site they have a bunch of different styles of 4-piece, and they all say 4-piece and then a name of a hop behind it. So I'm thinking they're all single hop beers, but they're just doing something a little different. They're just doing a different hop. So,
City.
but I didn't see anything with fruit flavors or anything like that in there. So anyway, 2.5 and a 3.0. Wow.
Low scores, but 2 days from now we got big event happening.
Oh yeah, big
event. We're gonna have a big beer.
Or
People.
Or someone that we know might say, it will be bigly.
I don't think I'm gonna have the multi-camera setup like Joe Rogan, but I think I'm gonna have the multi-camera setup.
I'm bringing mine.
So I'll just do it in post-processing.
Yeah.
You're gonna bring your rig, or you're bringing just cameras?
I'm bringing the camera.
Oh, okay, good.
So
we'll have lots of backup.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna have to scale back the amount of pixels I'm recording because these files are huge.
Have you ever used iMovie or anything like that? Okay.
Oh yeah, iMovie's great. I use CapCut mostly.
Can you feed, I know I use Logic Pro for sound, and you can feed with multiple channels on Logic Pro and have them all layered, right?
Yeah.
Can you do that with iMovie? I'm not very familiar
Well,
with
yeah,
it.
you could do it with iMovie, but iMovie, as far as I've seen, doesn't do it live. It's not a switch control.
Yeah.
You put all of your files in there afterwards,
and then you
do
choose.
editing and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So, you cut this, cut that, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I tried to do a little bit of that last year, and then I wound up giving up. But I'm more prepared for it this year. I've had a whole year of using CapCut.
Yeah.
CapCut's great. iMovie's good too. I like iMovie's transitions and stuff, but
I guess I should have given you my Christmas present early.
oh dang.
He
got me a MacBook Pro. That's pretty nice. Thank you. So we'll be editing on that.
That'll do.
That'll do, Scott. Thank you. We'll have all that, and you'll have some extra cameras, it sounds like. So that's good.
Yeah. Cool.
That's it. Day 12.
Day 12 in the can. We're
Tomorrow's
halfway
solo
there.
episodes. Don't forget tomorrow's solo.
Tomorrow's
episodes.
solo for the SFIL
Holiday
and
party.
for the JT.
Yeah. Two solos.
Two
Maybe I'll do it
solos.
first thing in the morning.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Approach work with just a beer in my belly. I work at home, so I don't have to drive.
When's your first meeting?
Who knows? Probably right away.
Yeah, me too.
All I ever do is meetings now. My whole life is meetings.
It
I'm just a
happens.
meetings master.
The higher you go, the more the meetings. Seems to be.
Yeah, seems
All right. Well, Chuggalos, I hope you enjoyed your day today. I hope you got some enjoyment out of this. And thanks for watching. Thanks for enjoying it with us in the comfort of your own home. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
And on Saturday, the extravaganza.
That's right.
It's going to be big.
Hopefully.
It'll be fun.
It'll be huge.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Later.
See ya.